Hey guys, Jimmy here from Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, I've finally painted that Gryph-hound that we got with like issue number, I think it was issue number 3 of Mortal Realms magazine. It's a bit different. It's not the best kind of look. It's not originally what I went with. It's a lot of painting, kind of like the spare of a moment, and yeah, it's not too bad. I kind of want some more Gryph-hounds though to give it a bit more of a different try and see what else I can do with it. Hopefully something a little bit different. But yeah, check out the video. This is how I painted it, and I'll catch you in a very short while. Right then, so I started off with a Corax white base for the model itself. Absolutely coated it, and as you can see, what I'm using here is some contrast apothecary white to give you that kind of grey kind of tone inside the muscles and all them creases and folds of flesh of the creature. Make sure you layer it over the entire lot if you're doing a very similar kind of style. Contrast paint works really well for this type of project. I've missed the steps here, don't know how and don't know why, but what I've done is I've gone back over with contrast with good old Corax white to kind of highlight them areas, flatten the tone out a little bit more, and so it's not just a kind of a greyish kind of model. And now, as you can see, what I'm using is some Nilikai oxide to paint them feathers, followed up with a bit more Corax white to break them feathers up. Started off by putting the paint on individual feathers, and eventually I got a bit fed up and started just dry brushing them on, which is far easier and far quicker. Once that was done, what I used then was some Yanden yellow contrast paint. I think that's how it's pronounced. I might be completely wrong, more than likely am. I covered the beak, I covered the plumage, and that roughage around the neck, just above the top part of the neck of the good old Gryph-hound here as well, and across that tail bit. Then what I did was I moved on to some of the finer details, painting up the black of them claws for the Gryph-hound itself, because you don't want them being white because it'll look completely wrong, in all honesty. Then moved on to put some more Corax white around the eyes, just give it a bit more of a breakup of that yellow. Having it too yellow would make it look a bit wrong and a bit off. And as you can tell, I've already used some Abaddon black on the eyeballs itself. And then as soon as that was dry, what I moved on to was adding some Retributor armor to the armor pieces, the head, across the head, and the kind of like the kind of collar harness type thing that the Gryph-hound is wearing. So it fits in a bit more with Stormcast Eternals. And then of course use some Reikland Flesh Shade to shade it over and break up that colour, give it a bit more of an aged look. Make sure you do it all the way around that collar as well, and it will help out a massive amount. After that was dry, what I did then was I used some Avalon Sunset to paint some kind of like camouflage kind of stripes, kind of like a tiger would have, but in obviously opposite colours. This was literally a spare of a moment thing. I just thought, you need something to break up all that white. I did that to tie in. I used Avalon Sunset to tie in the neck and the plumage and that tip of the tail, and yeah. And then what we moved on to was using some Nagarath Night after all that yellow was dry, just to put on them kind of like that harness that's holding that collar in place, just so it matches the Stormcast Stormhost that you've got. You don't have to do it this way. Brown, to make a brown leather straps would look absolutely fine as well. And then of course using some Xerxes purple to break that up as well. Make sure you go underneath the model as well to, if you do things like that, so the straps are all kind of painted up and done as well. And that is it, guys. That is pretty much it. As you can tell, I've kind of, it's not my best model, I'm going to admit. I've tried painting Gryph-hounds before, and I've always found them really weird and never been that good at it, but I'm kind of happy with this one. It looks decent, and it's a good idea of how I want future ones to go. But having said that, if you've liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. There'll be more videos coming in the very near future, now that I'm feeling better and I'm over the random virus I had at the beginning of last week. But yeah, and that's it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, everything, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye now.